there we are. We are officially live. And good evening. My name is Dr. Thomas, and this is Spiritualism with Dr. Thomas. I hope you can hear me. It's been a long couple days. I have a meeting to come on. Really, multiple days this month, but sometimes things just get pushed back and get pushed back. But we're here. And so, Jen, hi. Thank you for joining. Feel free to leave a comment if you are watching live or on the replay. Either way works. Feel free to always share this out or pass along to someone you think might want to hear the message. So I'm here and I am been channeling now for 5, 6, 7 months like that. This is 7 months officially, and I always don't know what's going to come out, what's going to be said. I don't always sit down and ask for a preview. I remember the first time I did a channeled message, I literally laid there and said, "Tell me what I'm supposed to be talking about," and then I wrote it out, and then I went live and I just said it anyways. It just came out the way it was supposed to. And so now we're here. We've talked about a lot. And tonight, for this month, we're starting a new, I'm going to call it book, new chapter, new theme. The first few months, it was all about love and the power of love. And now we're going into those around us. Almost like I'm hearing purpose. What is your purpose? We talked about that in the very first channels. But let's get it deeper. Yes. We are finally back. You are here. And we are so grateful that you are here with us. Tonight, yes. Tonight we are talking about your family. You say the word family, we say the word family, and the first thing that comes to mind is your parents, aunts, siblings, brothers, grandparents, all of that. That all comes to mind. But that is the start of what we will call your soul family. You must understand, first and foremost, you've been here many times. Many times. Too many to count. And every time you reincarnate, you come back with the same soul family. Now, they're not all here at the same time. They're not all in the same role. They don't have the same purpose. They don't always are there to help you, and you're not always there to help them, and it can be different, and you don't always interact. You don't always even connect. But there's about 36. Now, there are some close ones that are really close to you. That is what I would say to you as more like what you think, but is wrong. What you say is a soulmate. That's more like the really close soul family members. And many times, whether you believe it or not, your family and your siblings are definitely part of that soulmate, are definitely that close soul family. But then you have others that you come in with regularly. Now, it does not mean, let's say, your great aunt Patty or your cousin Dawn or whoever is not part of some type of close family. But it might also mean they don't always come in with you with an intent to really impact you. Because it changes from time to time, especially in the first, well, thousands of years. Because when you came back every time, up until the recent, it was all about the karmic, about the lessons you were learning, everything you were doing to get to this point of your life, of your journey. And to do that, to get those lessons, because you went through all that reincarnation. And every time things happen. Now, we say this before, we're gonna say this now. Let's take a step backwards. See, we struggle a little bit because this is still like a practice run for him. He still is co-conscious with us. So he still has like these limitations, he tells us. But when we want to talk, when we know what we want to speak and we let him not interfere, we can get what we want out in the right manner. Let's start with the beginning. Reincarnation. For those who do not believe in reincarnation, the proof and evidence has been very evident, especially in the past 100 years. And many of you watching have learned about the past life with someone, with others, where you've been. But more importantly, if you want the evidence, there have been many studies done, many hypnosis sessions, many people have been able to re-encounter things, tell stories that they should not know, but they know because they reincarnated. Because that's what we have done. And I know there have been many people that have talked to him and we're there and we hear it. They say, I'm not coming back in the next life. Oh, that is so not true. In most cases, when you pass, you're like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to do this again. You might be suffering now. You might not think that, but it is the way it is. You don't have to, but you do because you love it. And it is such an amazing experience you're in. But it started with reincarnation. And as you went from the very beginning on this planet, from the first time you came here, and we all did not come at the same time. No. Think about this. How the population of the earth has grown. Meaning new young souls to this planet have joined. It doesn't mean those souls are brand new. It just means they might not have always been here in human form. Because there are multiple planets, multiple experiences, multiple ways to experience even this planet. But we reincarnate, and the lessons we've learned largely start from our own plans that we make with the 36, our soul family. Our soul family are those that we make more of those important contracts with. And sometimes they're for our benefit, and sometimes they're for their benefit, and sometimes it's mutual. And we all don't come in at the same time. Grandma and Grandpa would come in many years before you. Your children come in many years after you, but you have contracts with all of them. Now they all have their own journey, which is important to understand in this. They all have their own journey. And within their own journey, they all have something we've talked about: free choice. So if you reincarnated thousands of times, especially you older souls, you've been here many times, learning many karmic lessons, leading up to this point when the karma is no longer needed, necessary, important, or really valid. It can be released, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about your family. And so you make these plans, your soul does, of what you want to achieve, what you think you're going to accomplish, learn in this life. But as part of coming into this life in the unbiased version of God, free choice is there, and we've talked about that. So let's put it back into the logic for you. You reincarnated so many times for karmic lessons. You reincarnated with about 36 souls as a part of a bigger soul family. You're not exclusive to them, and you can interchange them as you grow and you learn and you develop new partnerships and relationships and contracts. But as you come into this place, free choice overrides everything. Everything. So we ask first, well, if you made a contract and you have a plan, how are you not going to follow it? You have to. Well, no. You have free choice. All contracts, as Klein would say, are in invisible ink. They're not relevant if you don't want them to be. They can be rewritten at any time. You can meet one of your soul family's members that you have a specific contract with, and they may decide they don't want it. You may decide you don't want it. Or you both may decide you want something different. It's all valid. It's all okay. It's all the way it works. Because you both have free choice in this. And if you choose not to follow through with the contract, the soul family member may come back later and you may revisit it, or you may not. But either way, it's okay. We love you regardless, because it's your free choice, your life, your lessons. So you come in with these family members. You come in with very specific contracts, and you do not always believe it. You're like, why would this person be so mean to me? Why would they bully me? Why would they have this? Well, because you wanted to experience it. It's very simple. You as humans don't understand that yet. You still have trouble grasping the fact that everything around you, everything, is part of your plan. Ooh, you're saying, wow, can you say that? I would not want this on me. It is. With your free will, free choice, ability to manifest anything. Even the things you don't want. Because it's all possible when you have the God power within. So these soul family members, each time you come in, their roles change. Your role will change. Maybe they'll be an aunt. Maybe they will be a best friend. Maybe they'll be a sibling, a parent, a child, a grandparent. Oh, so many times grandparents come back as the children just to mess with you. No, they come back as children to continue their lessons and your lessons. And you'd be like, oh my goodness, that is what this person would do. And you wonder why. It's because they came back. And when you see them acting the way the other person who passed acted, it's because it's that person in the new life. It's so obvious to many people when you sit back and look and you truly study and observe with no bias what you can see all around you is magnificent. But we're not there yet. You're not there yet to truly see all that. But it is there. The signs are there. So your soul family are those that come with you. But as you journey on, things can change. Things can be altered. Because every person on this planet is made, as the Bible says, in the image of God. But I would say it is interpreted incorrectly or not fully understood. When we say the image of God, we mean God is within you and everyone. And as a result, you are all connected to God. 1v1. And as a result, we're all connected to everyone as a whole, as individuals. And so we may come in with very certain people that we wanted to live with, to experience with for that. But at any point, others can come forward and become what you would call soulmates or part of your soul family, however you want to see it. That is the hardest thing for people to believe. Because everyone is like, oh my goodness, my one true love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. No. Yes, you come in this life with a love contract with multiple people or one person. It's based on what you're looking for. But you have, get ready for it again, that free will. He gets it now. We didn't tell him the topic yet. And he kind of toyed with the message saying, we don't know what the topic is, but we knew what the topic was. We never told him. He now understands where we are going this month. We toy with him too. We have that fun. Okay. That free will is always with you. And with it, allows you to change your life, your contracts, and alter who comes with you and what lessons you're going to learn with whom. And that is the interesting part, because as we said, God is connected to all of us, internal within the body. The science has proven that. He has talked about it. God eternal within the body. And when God is eternal within the body, you can connect to any individual should you choose. Now, the vibration and frequencies are going to be important. Because you can connect with someone lower or higher vibration, but you won't feel what you want. It won't be as you say, magical as you'd want it to be. But when the frequencies are there, it's much more powerful. But it can be with anyone. Anyone. And it does not have to be romantic. It can be friendship. It can be partners. It can be learning new lessons. There's so much. But it all comes down to the fact that you have free choice. So what have we shared? One, we talked about the reincarnation, because that is that. It happens. You've been here thousands of times and also other planets. And just thinking every other planet, your soul family can be different. Now, there's more than this. We talked about just the soul family. There's so much more. You have very specific soulmates. that are very intense. If you had these passions with men, women, it could be anyone. Many times they're more intense. The reason they're more intense is because you've been so family long. And when you're soul family long and you have more intense relationships throughout those soul family experiences in the reincarnations, those really close ones, you begin to see yourself in them because your souls have been connected many times. And it's easier to see yourself in them. Let's not make a little big asterisk on this. It does not mean you are soulmates destined to be together. Oftentimes I would call these the ones like the twin flames, as you say it, because you see yourself in them and you see this spark and a higher intense energy. But what you don't realize, it's because you see yourself in them and they see themselves in you and you're bonded that way. You often have to separate. You learn a lesson and separate. Do you know why? You don't. Because if you stay together, the growth you were looking for, you were desiring, doesn't happen. You get fixated as a human with them, not just with them, but the you inside of them. And you can build on your skills and grow, but it's much more difficult because you're not necessarily meant to be together. Your free choice can put you there, but as those twin flames you call it, it's like being with yourself, which can be fine if you choose that, because there is no wrong answer. But then you'll be missing out on what could be. And so we say that not to scare you, not to warn you, not to discourage you from those type of relationships, but to provide the knowledge as to where these fall into the play. And then add to this whole mess, because it's very complicated. Galactic Family. Those are ones that you actually have a more alien type of relationship with. That you've done things in other planets. That you have different roles. You come from different species. They are not necessarily part of your soul family. But as you grow and you shift into the new consciousness, new energy, and you release the karma, more of them will show up. And you'll begin a new soul family as the lessons will change. Because as you go and as you grow, not everyone grows and goes at the same pace. There are different journeys. And so those 36 you come with, the journeys of each one of them is at different points. Like him, he's removed the karma. He wants to go back to the people of the past lives, to the old. He's now looking to move forward and find a next family. Crying once said, and he listened and this changed him. Release the contracts and go up the stairs, and on the new stairs, you will find higher vibrational people that are there to create these new types of families. Now we're paraphrasing, adding on, but a new type of families, a new type of relationships and contracts that then you would move forward when you reincarnate again. And not everyone climbs the steps at the same time. And that is okay and wonderful, because that is how it goes. And it's gone there so many times in so many different places. But tonight we shared a lot. This is more like an overview of what's to come in the next few weeks. Free choice. Your contracts. Dissolving contracts and karma. Understanding the soulmate dynamic, the relationships, the twin flames. And stepping into the new. And finding the new galactic and soul families that are going to align with who you are becoming. So much, and so beautiful and wonderful. Because you always are. We see it every day. And we are so proud of you. It's time. It's time to step through the veil. It's time to step into the new consciousness. It's time for love, peace, calm, and a new energy, and a new way of living to produce so much more love, joy, happiness, and peace in this world. Blessings for now. Yashathonya Bashiki. Oh, hey, hi. Well, I guess that's what we talked about. Yeah. Stacia, hello. Cheryl, hi. Thank you guys for the comments. Wow, that was long. I knew that was long. It felt long. I'm sure you would love for my grandparents to come back. I see my grandma, and my aunt and cousin. So one thing I shared now, I'll share this now because it's just what's coming in my head. Just know your parents, children that pass, grandparents, your ancestors, they all make a contract to stay with you to your last dying breath. And guess what? You do the same. That's a very tough thing for people to grasp. Because of our lateral thinking, unilateral thinking, our thinking, we think one place, only can be in one place at one time, but your soul is in many places at one time. Many places. And so they're always there. And more than likely, they came back in another form already. But like I channeled, to remember this part, we're not ready for all of this. We're not. As a whole, as a collective. Not ready to sit back. Even more so. You mentioned, like, for example, your grandma to come back. Do you know what your grandma was like as a 4-year-old? A 5-year-old? Think about that question. because we don't. We know what they were like as a 70-year-old, an 80-year-old, their last few years of their lives. That's not how they come back. That's how they ended. They come back, especially now. They've come back in this new energy, this new consciousness, and a higher vibration, a higher wisdom. But it's a little mannerisms, if you know. Now, I have a friend who I would say has seen this, and I've told her it's been seen, because that who has come back died young. And she knew him well. So she can see the mannerisms with that whom she talks about in that child. But that was different. The person died young, and she knew him for half his life. So it's something to think about, which makes this. I mean, when you put it down at the end of the day, this is made simple for us as humans. It's been made simple. The complexity is outside. It's over the veil, which for years, and Christ says all the time now, for years we've taught, don't go across the veil, don't go across the veil. Only certain people can. Only those, no, we all can go across the veil. It's been put up by humans to prevent us from that connection. But we've also been prevented from knowing our full Akashic record, knowing everything we've done, all of our life experiences, because too much knowledge, too much wisdom is what happened. That's what I should do. Too much knowledge. I'm going to say it. Too much knowledge and wisdom is what destroyed Lemuria. You would be thinking, what am I talking about? The first version of humanity on this planet, Lemurians, Atlanteans, there was a great disparity of those that had knowledge and wisdom and those that didn't. So the destruction of that first generation had to occur because you had basically the righteous, enlightened, as we may call, that lived a very long time. And then you had the slaves who didn't get the knowledge and wisdom and lived very little. The second version wasn't as bad. That brought us to our version. And so what is learned? Because as we go through this experiment of life, as you've learned, as they learned with humanity in this planet, the wisdom can't be given right away. The knowledge can't be there. It can't be remembered. It must be uncovered, opened up, accepted, understood, for it to truly create a loving consciousness environment. And that is where we're going to. So yeah. So I thank you guys for watching. I thank you for being on. I hope it was nice. It was good. I could probably talk about this a lot. I mean, we're getting to topics that I can get deeper into it, the research and stuff I've learned. But I wish you guys a wonderful evening. I'll be back on soon. And if I can remember exactly what they wanted the channel, well, it doesn't matter. They'll just come up with it. But I mean, I gotta guess right up the description. But it is on that line. I remember the Soul Family. But getting there, they said reincarnation, free choice. What are these differences and how we're going with them all? But guys, thank you so much. Have a beautiful, wonderful evening, and hopefully we will talk soon.